Hello everyone, I hope you've had a great day so far and that you're doing well. For this video we'll be continuing through our retrospective unbagging of Imperium with issue 49. And as for Imperium, this is for the Warhammer 40,000 setting, and as for this particular issue, at least for Australia, would have been released sometime in 2023, probably around the middle of 2023, so we're about 3 years behind, but that is for Australia. Whereas for the likes of the UK, US, would have released a few years prior to that. So it was definitely when 10th edition was pretty much in its prime. But yes, Australia was unfortunately behind. Anyway, getting straight into it because this should be a very interesting issue. So issue 49, front of the magazine, will have a Penitent engine, and that may also be another Penitent engine, but either. Penitent engine. So there will be 10 models in this issue of various types. Obviously from the Adepta Sororitas army, aka the Sisters of Battle. We'll have an array of new data sheets and rules, and a new narrative mission. So, a lot to unpack. So the contents page. So there will be some information regarding the Penitent engine. Where did I get engine from? Penitent engine, followed by the Repentia Superior, and then most of this issue will be spent going through the building and painting of the various units, the data sheets for the Repentia Superior and the Penitent engine, followed by there is a fold out. So I guess that's where it's followed by. Okay, so the Penitent engine. Gosh, I remember when this was not in plastic. So pretty much some of the lore breakdown of what it is, what it's equipped with, and things like that. And then naturally there is a battle record for it. Are we surprised? No. I do remember some of this artwork for the Witch Hunters when it first came out. I will admit it's still very nice artwork. I don't know if it's still prevalent in 10th and 11th, but it was still very nice to see. The Repentia Superior, so the overseer of the Penitent, so I suspect she will be the head of the Sisters Repentia squad. So that's obviously that's the model, some of the war gear inclusions, etc. Followed by, of course, the battle record for the Superior. Now, how to build. So we will get a single sprue, which will look like this. So we'll see that in a minute. So naturally just going through the starting steps, the clipping of the parts. We will get a flight stand because there will be a Seraphim included. So there's things to be mindful of. So how to build Seraphim and Battle Sisters. So we'll start with basically the lone Seraphim. Although in saying that, we did have a Seraphim, or a set of Seraphim in a previous issue. Here is one of the Battle Sisters. We'll get 3 different base sizes, which we'll see in a little while. So there'll be Arcos, the Repentia, and then pretty much the mainstay of the Battle Sisters. Continuing through the how to build the Battle Sisters. So this one will have the Simulacrum Imperialis. Basically, this assumes a overglorified banner, another plain Battle Sister, and another one here who will have some type of tactical rock or ornament. After that, we go to building the Repentia Superior, followed by some Sisters Repentia. It's weird seeing these in plastic now, even though I've actually not built them yet, but just seeing the instructions in plastic is really weird. Building a Arco-flaggellant, and then finally the Penitent engine itself. Definitely a very interesting look. Now once again, as I mentioned earlier, last time I really saw this, it was in metal, so yes, how things have changed since. And then just going through the final steps of putting that together. In a way, I'm actually glad it's in plastic now. It does seem that it has the potential for a bit more of a dynamic posing than it used to, but it is what it is, but I'm sure it's going to weigh a lot less. How to paint the Adepta Sororitas. So I would imagine this is probably going to be akin, or for, not so much akin, for the Order of our Martyred Lady, would be my guess. But anyway, have it on black, corn red for robes and the base, Mephiston red once again for the robe, Mournfang brown, a little bit of lead belcher, which is not too surprising, Corax white, Screamer pink, Rakarth flesh, Agrax earth red, which is always nice to see. We have a little bit of Macragge blue there for the plasma coils, the first coming of Norn oil, Retributor armor, which you would think would appear a few more times, Reichland flesh shade, so already there's a huge array of different paints being used, which is fair enough. We're at issue 49, we've had a decent array of paints provided. Stormhost silver, pink horror, Wild Rider red, and then back to some more Abaddon black. So obviously it's jumping from many of the different units, and this is obviously more of the battle sisters. We still have the Arco-flaggellant and the Repentia, so they're going into, what do we have? Corax white, Retributor armor, Reichland, and the Reichland is already alone bringing out a lot of that detail. Back to some Corax white, the lead belcher for the flagellants, Screamer pink, going back to some Abaddon black, Mephiston red, Rakarth flesh. So it is literally jumping through colours. Agrax, Norn, a bit more Norn, Stormhost silver, pink horror, Wild Rider red. So yeah, it's been pretty in-depth with some of its colour usage. And then lastly we have the Penitent engine. So some of the paints included, Belcher, Norn oil, which is not surprising, the gold trim with Retributor armor, then using Reichland flesh shade on that, dry rushing with Storm silver, and then going into the skin side of things with Corax white and Reichland flesh shade again, a bit of Macragge blue for some fatigues, Mephiston red for some fuel tanks, and cabling, Screamer pink for purity seals, Norn oil, more Rakarth, more Agrax, pink horror. So in terms of the paints, it's been pretty consistent in terms of what's been used across all of them, even though they're all different units. So here we have a quick breakdown of the final gallery of all those various units with the paints that are available up to issue 49. I'd say they're definitely very much tabletop ready, the Penitent engine being probably the most tabletop ready. Parade ready, could probably use a little bit more work, but it's definitely not too far behind. Data sheets for the Penitent engine and the Repentia Superior. And then there is a quick little tutorial regarding the Driven Onwards ability for the Repentia Superior. Nice little splash page here with a few little things to cut out. So we're looking at a Necron now, which I'm sure we'll see for the next 10 issues. And then, on the back of the issue, we have issue number 50, which we know about, will have an array of Necron units. And then issue 51 will actually go back to some paint with some Pallid Witch Flesh and Dawn Stone. No doubt that this will be used for some edge highlighting, and I suspect this will obviously be used to highlight some flesh areas. So that is issue 49 with what is left of issue 49. Before getting into the interesting stuff, we do have a fold out here. So just starting with this section, there'll be a section for the Necrons, so Necron Overlord, and the retinue. So what do we have here? Royal Warden. I suspect one of them is, I think this is a Chronomancer, and I'm not too sure, I can't remember which one that one is. On the other side, Escalation. I suspect this is the actual narrative story, which would make a bit of sense. So opening things up, we get to see some of the Imperium side. So we have a Primaris Captain, the Adepta Sororitas with the Electian mission. So I'm guessing it's a small grouping of sisters units. And then opening up the fold out, we'll go into the actual mission itself, the forces in play, deployment, mission objectives, etc. And obviously the actual mission board itself. So a decent number of Imperial forces there in play. Combination of Space Marines and Battle Sisters, and then the Necrons, probably every single Necron model that has been provided thus far. So that is the foldout. It's always nice to have. Now, the last thing is pretty much a case of the actual runner itself. Now, for some wonderful reason, it is a little bit warped. I'm hoping it hasn't warped everything into too weird a state, but that is definitely one full sprue there with all the various pieces. So I can see a lot of the Penitent engine parts here, number of sister parts here. I think that might be the Arco-flaggellant, some more Battle Sisters, things like that. So it's obviously very nice to see all these parts here and the detailing that is available as well. How many of these will end up being spare parts? Who knows? I'm guessing not too many. Oh, there's that Simulacrum in there as well. I think that's the Repentia Superior. So yeah, it's a very nice array of parts. So we obviously have that, and then to follow through, we've got the jump back stands, which are obviously still in a nice clear plastic there. A larger base for the Penitent engine. Some of these smaller bases for the Arcos. I think they probably dropped one. I'm not sure, no, dropped one of the other ones. And we do get obviously these that is not part of what I should be doing. Some of these other bases for the actual Battle Sister units. So a nice collection of bases there to go with everything. Okay. So that will bring us to the end of the retrospective page through for Imperium issue 49. Despite the fact that some of the pages are basically starting to fall off the seam, which is fair. I mean, if you ever stick into the binder, it's going to happen anyway. So it is thinking ahead. I'll give it that much. Thank you very much for watching this slightly longer than usual page through. Feel free to do the whole like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the content. All of this does help support the channel, and I do appreciate it. Extra content can be found on my Instagram, as well as the YouTube community tab, which just makes basically work in progress stuff of things I'm working on at the time. With that being said, stay safe and take care, and I will catch you all in a future video, whether it's Imperium issue 50 with the array of Necron models, some other Warhammer and or 40k content, or just something else on the channel. See ya.